Now I can see you. Hi, BookTube. Sorry, my videos have been kind of lacking lately. My aunt has passed away, unfortunately, and my mom was her closest sister, so we've been kind of doing a whole bunch of stuff. Right now there's a little lull, so I decided to make a video. This is going to be a quick one. I have finished Miss Peregrine's Home, and I have started Stranger in a Strange Land, and I got a new shelf. Well, you can't really, you can kind of see it, but I'll do a bookshelf tour later. Right now I want to do the 20th Century Tag. This was started by Words of a Reader. I'll put her link down below. I am like 6-7 months late on doing this, but I really wanted to do it because it's fun. So I have just my list here and my books behind me, so I'll just get to it. So for the 1900s, I chose White Fang by Jack London. This was, you know, very popular at the time because, you know, survival literature. This is, you know, quite an interesting read. For the 1910s, I had to throw in some Canadian literature here. We have Arcadian Adventures with the Idle Rich. Let me just check the publication date. 1914. This was written by Stephen Leacock. It's a very humorous book, but it's very, lots of satire and humor in any of his writing. For the 1920s, I went with The Beast, the Ultimate Ulysses. You'll notice I have all my little tags here because I did write essays and everything on this. I chose this because the 1920s was the time when all the writers were in Paris and they were writing all these grand experimental pieces, and Ulysses is the one, by James Joyce. You can see right there. Okay. 1930s. I went with Aldous Huxley. I see a lot of people recommending 1984, which was written in the 1940s. This was published 1930, let me just double check here. 1932, I was right. And it's a beautiful dystopian novel. I ranted about it in my last video, and I really recommend, if you've already read 1984 and you think that that was a good dystopian, pick up Brave New World, because it in my opinion, blows it out of the water. For the 1940s, I decided to pick up some Albert Camus, The Outsider. You know, here we have a strong philosopher, 1940s. Yeah. For the 1950s, I chose On the Road by Jack Kerouac, the father of the beat, Nyx. There, we actually have a picture of the author down there. Most people have heard of this. The movie came out recently, and there's, you know, most people have picked it up. For the 1960s, we see the rise of science fiction popularity, so I chose The Cat's Cradle. It was published 1963 by Kurt Vonnegut, one of his more well-known works. It's a beautiful story filled with science and religion and very interesting future that's suddenly put into danger. 1970s, what else could you go with but Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter S. Thompson. This was published in 1971, and this is why I don't lend books to my brother anymore. Look at how much he wrecked it. But he did an essay on it, which is why it's all full of these things, and oh, there's water damage, and oh, I'm gonna kill my brother. Anyways, 1970s, the drug culture. 1980s, I picked The Satanic Verses by Salman Rushdie. I started reading this, got 8 pages in, and then the end of the year came, and I just decided to start reading a new book. What's this? Yeah, so there's The Satanic Verses by Salman Rushdie. 1988. And lastly we have the 1990s, and I chose Trainspotting by Irvine Welsh, just because, I mean, this, I look at this and this is what I think of in 90s culture, you know, the heroin chic, the heroin epidemic, really a totally different drug culture from Fear and Loathing. So this was published in 1993. So I know this tag is quite old, so I'm not going to tag anyone, but if you want to do it, do it. It's fun to kind of ransack your shelves and think about these time periods and what really kind of, you know, where these books fit in the time period. If you've read these books, or if you have any other books from these periods to recommend, you can leave a comment down below, and keep reading! Every time I wiggle, the camera wiggles.